Hello everyone, welcome back to the KMTRADERS channel. So this is the Crypto Weekly Analysis, Volume 16. Again, giving you an insight of what we're looking into for next week, and going to compare our analysis with our annotations from our last week's video. So what we're essentially looking at with Bitcoin is still this same bias, and essentially we're looking for price to break towards the downside. So again, I'm not going to ramble on too much, but I'm going to just change the chart to the daily for this pair just to make it a little bit easier. So I hope you can see this one big daily candle here, right? That there is a potential shift being changed. So this could have the ability to drop off still towards the downside. So still thinking that that can happen. We just have to stay patient with this. But yeah, ideally on a 4 hour this is quite strong. So we are looking at buying opportunities, and again the best way to look at buying opportunities is to buy them at the best points, so at the cheapest price at points. I personally believe that if there's no point in buying it right now, because we are in 50-50 between breaking the highs and breaking that low. If we can break this low, then we will be able to really capture more profits than if we were to buy here and it to go up there, if that makes sense. So just try and digest what I really just said, because that can be a very valuable point in the future of your profit taking and profit making. So again, we're just going to be waiting for price to break this low here and to get into a cheaper point of the market. If price doesn't break this low and it continues to accelerate higher, that's fine. We can just simply wait for that the next buying point, which will be potentially a very long time. But there's nothing else that we could do, I guess, because this probably has to be, there's no point really trying to buy something that's overvalued. So it's best to wait for when it's undervalued. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Again, we're applying that same dominance theory to the other coins. So take a look at Ripple. So we've just been moving sideways, so let's take a look on a daily, see if that does anything. Not necessarily, but you can see how strong that that candle has dropped to the downside, and we've just been isolated in this one little area here. EMAs have really just rejected it, so we've really just been sideways moving right now. So it has that ability to play off that we could still drop to the downside. So I'm still looking into price dropping into 50 cents, and again price to push up and break new highs if we can, and this is our buying point here. But we're still waiting for that. Looking at Cardano, I think we explained that we could potentially see price push up higher, but it's still turned. We're still aiming for price to break lower. So I'm going to still keep this. I'm still going to keep this annotation here that we could expect price to push up higher, but I'm looking for price to break lower still into the $1 region, following on with Bitcoin dominance crashing. So again, all of these crashes or all of these drops that we're talking about, it's based on the theory that if Bitcoin drops, then we should be able to see drops in the other coins as well, and it should have an effect on the other coins. So that's why when if we do get this drop, that will be your perfect opportunity to buy and collect some more coins for the next bull run. Well, that's my personal plan anyway. So Litecoin, similar story. We're just moving sideways here. We actually had a spike towards the upside, but that's fine. I can't see anything alarming in that. If anything, that's probably a good sign that there is more potential. Well, there's not enough buyers in the market. There's not enough buyers in the market, and there's more sellers there, so there's more pressure dropping it down, and it's pretty much sideways. So we could expect price to drop lower still there. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's getting quite close towards the upside, so I have still left that 2 scenario points here, is that that I am looking for price to still drop based on the Bitcoin dropping, but because we are actually quite close to the upside, there is a possibility of price breaking up higher. And 2 scenarios can happen, is where price is strong, we'll get a retest and we can continue, or we'll get price to break to the high, it will reject and it will drop all the way back down. So again, just to refresh you guys of those 3 scenarios, but we'll see what happens still. Dogecoin, excuse me, Dogecoin, we're slightly still dropping. Let's move it across. Again, I'm heading into 10 cents. I'm looking for price to get into this area here. We can see price has dropped off. We're just trailing sideways, so we're not entirely too sure what's happening price wise. So we're still seeing sideways moving action, so possibly we could see price break lower and see price rally soon. So yeah, we'll see with that. And then finally EGLD, or eGold. So quite interesting what happened last week. We had price completely rallied that and smashed through the top of the high here, and I think what we explained last week was 2 scenarios where price has the ability to make some retests. So we can see price making that retest right now, and we're just waiting for price to potentially make 1 more move higher. So take a look on the daily. We can see that price on a clearer perspective is so yeah, we've broken the high. It was quite strong, but it's kind of recovered lower and lower, so it's dipped back under. So there could be a lot of people getting trapped here, but that could start to signal the next shift up. And then from here it'll be interesting to see, because we could start to push higher and higher and higher, or we could drop with the market if Bitcoin does drop too, and that could drop in the sense where it takes out this low here. So excuse me, so that's pretty much where we could expect price to do or follow over the next few days or so, but just to be mindful that this is not necessarily strong, even though it has broken out. It's recovered quite quickly, and it's recovered back under, so we could expect price to probably trail a bit lower, maybe like so, and then it could break higher. So we just have to wait for how long this retracement period is, and then we'll see where price wants to go, if it wants to go higher or if it wants to drop off. So that's something we just need to stay a little bit, pay attention for. But by all means, I don't think it's any time to buy soon. The perfect buying scenario is somewhere like here, but we'll know once we can start to prepare for that if this scenario plays out, and if we get 1 more break higher, and then we'll be watching to see if we can break this. If we break a low and we start to break lower, then we can start to eye up the fact that there is a possibility of a buying opportunity here for eGold, if you do want to buy it for this pair. So but that'll be in quite a few weeks time, I believe, and I think it's probably going to tie in when Bitcoin drops. So that's something that I'm kind of combining together as well. So again guys, that'll be all for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I do appreciate your time for listening. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you need to. If you have any of the questions, leave that in the comment section below. And again, if you haven't done so already, we do have a trading group that you can join, and that link is in the description, guys. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all in our next week's video.